Hi, thank you all for setting apart some time for this presentation. This presentation, oh, bruh.
Hey, so if you've ever tried to rank a map, or even map in general, you probably know that it honestly isn't very easy to get your first map ranked. There's a lot of steps to go through, as well as making sure that your map is in the first place of decent quality and abides by all the ranking criteria and guidelines. But despite all of this, there are quite a reasonable amount of maps which are currently unrankable by today's standards or just outright unplayable, like actually unplayable. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of these maps which really shouldn't exist in the rank section at all. We're only going to be going through 3 maps, but these 3 maps are pretty interesting in the ways that they shouldn't be ranked. So hopefully this video will provide a little bit of insight. So without further ado, let's get into this shit, I guess. Now, the first map is actually the most tame out of the 3 we're going to be looking at today. This is a completely unfinished map in the rank category. It's 12 seconds long, making it the shortest map in the ranked category by far. In fact, the map is so unfinished that circle size, HP drain, OD, and approach rate are all set to the default values of 5, 0, 0, and 0. If you go into the editor, you can see a whole bunch of empty space where there's supposed to be mapped, but there just isn't. But the funny thing is, the easy and hard difficulties are actually fully mapped, so I have actually no clue how this got ranked. What the fuck? But honestly, I don't think there's much to talk about. This is just, well, it's an unfinished map in the rank section. I don't know what there is to say about it. Alright, I guess we can move on to the next one, which is arguably a lot worse. Moving on to number 2, we actually have a map that used to be a lot more unplayable than it currently is right now, which is Wizards in Winter. Coincidentally, this is mapped by the same guy who mapped the previous map, Echo. The map is, for the most part, a fairly standard map for 2007 standards, although a little bit on the difficult side. However, the part we will be focusing on today is going to be on the ninja spinners. The last section of this map is pretty infamous for the massive amount of unrankable ninja spinners, which, if you're not too familiar with the game, is another way of saying this spinner is way too short to get any score on. While in current day Osu you'd be able to do basically nothing on the spinners and get a 300, this is only thanks to a patch that is pretty recent actually in 2019, which basically made ninja spinners accessible. Before that patch, you'd have to spin inhumanly fast, otherwise you'd only be able to get 50s or 100s. Just to put this in perspective, even Otto couldn't access the spinners. If you went and looked at the leaderboards now, you'd see S and SS scores, but back then you'd see a wall of B and C ranks in the top 50, and that's why I think this map belongs in this list. Now, just to conclude things off for this map, here's a fun little factoid that you may or may not know if you browse the Osu wiki for fun. On the old Osu wiki, there was actually a page called Unrankable Mapping Techniques, and at the very bottom of the page was ninja spinners. Wizards of Winter was actually linked on that specific page as an infamous example of ninja spinners in mapping. Alright, fuck the script. I don't need a script for this. This is Osu's possibly only unpassable ranked map. Right now you're probably thinking, wait, there's nothing wrong with this map. It looks like an easy difficulty map on a set. Well, you're correct. There's nothing wrong with the map itself. The problem comes when you try to convert it to a different game mode. Specifically, Taiko. Alright, jokes aside, you're probably wondering how is it possible for an easy difficulty out of all the things to be unpassable? Well, to explain that, we need to go into a bit of how Taiko's health system works. So unlike standard where you have a set amount of health and die when your health bar reaches 0, in Taiko you start with 0 health and gain health for each note you hit. To pass the map, you need your health bar to be at least 50% or more. You can fill your health bar with notes, finishers, but not spinners or sliders. And how lucky for us, this map when converted to Taiko turns out to only be sliders. And now, because of this conundrum where the map is completely unpassable, the leaderboard is entirely filled with 0% accuracy plays and no fail. I don't think you can find anything like that in any other map in the game. I'm quite confident in that.